Hi Circus friends, Amy here from Bindlestiff Family Circus After School. I teach in Hudson, New York and Chatham, New York, and today I would like to do something a little different for our circus tutorial. As you know, it's a very difficult time in our country right now with the quarantine and with the protests that are going on, and I felt that it was very important to review our values from circus class and to examine how those values inform our actions and how we work together as a group to make a better tomorrow. So I asked my circus colleagues if they would join me in talking about how values guide their actions.
I wanted to talk about how people should act in accordance with what their heart tells them is right, which may not always be what feels good, and it may go against societal norms. It may not be what your peers think that you should do, but it's what your heart tells you is the right thing to do. And how our values in circus are tools that we use to help us get in touch with what our instinct is.
My favorite value is lifelong learning. For me, that means being willing to admit that I'm wrong, being willing to say out loud, I don't know, and being willing to ask for help, um, staying open-minded, and letting go of rigidity and expectations that, everything should be a certain way and it has to be perfect, or there's, it's everything or nothing. So learning can often be a painful and frustrating experience because it means that you have to be wrong a number of times before you figure out what's right. Um, and but I have come to understand that that's a necessary part of learning as well. So it's got these little rises and falls and plateaus and rises and falls and plateaus, and that's okay. And there isn't a destination there. It's a process, and that's why I really like that value a lot.
I'm picking the value practice. I've been thinking a lot this past week about implicit bias. Implicit biases that we all have, that we may not be aware of, and that it will take a lot of practice to first become aware of what our implicit biases are, and then a lot of practice to go about I guess doing away with harmful biases. And I think that getting to know people who are very different than oneself, that's something that takes practice as well. And I think practice ties in with lifelong learning. When you start practicing something, you may have no understanding of it whatsoever, so you'd have to ask a lot of questions, and that's okay. And you may make mistakes along the way, but you just keep practicing. And as long as one is striving for progress, yeah, that's okay.
I'm gonna say I'll choose respect. If you don't show respect towards somebody else, they obviously you gotta show respect to get it back. You gotta give respect to get it. And I feel like respect is more than just there's so many aspects to respect. Like it could be respect to someone's opinion, letting it be known I may not agree with it, but I'm not going to tell you that you're wrong, because that's what you think. It doesn't necessarily have to be what I think, but that doesn't make it 100% wrong. And also respecting people's personal space. I'm not gonna invade your personal space or whatever. But it's just so many different aspects for respect.
Yeah.
When it comes to myself, I think of respect for one, I try to respect other people, but I always figure out that like I think that nobody's gonna respect me until I respect myself as a person, like, and know what I deserve as a person versus what I don't deserve as a person. And I feel like it all like goes back to that.
I think also, though, in the act of respecting another person, you can teach that person that they deserve that respect. I think it can go both ways.
Mm-hmm.
And Amy, I that was something I felt really strongly with our students when we worked together, was that for many of them, they knew that they're supposed to respect adults in the room or whatever, but it had never occurred to them that they were worthy of respect, and that anyone, let alone themselves, should respect what they have to say and think and feel.
Yeah.
And by giving them that respect, and not even many times expecting or asking for it in return, they're then able to in turn learn to respect themselves. And I think that's a really powerful tool.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like compassion and respect go hand in hand. To respect another, I think with compassion, caring and understanding are big aspects of compassion. And in order to respect someone and yourself, you have to care about them and yourself, and an attempt to understand where they're coming from, hear them out, as I talked before, like listening to others is very respectful, and it shows compassion. So yeah, I think those two, I think they all come hand in hand, but I think those two are very closely related.
I feel like they all go like. I feel like all of our values 100% go hand in hand.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like as a total, like I feel like it's like lifelong learning is like the umbrella for all of it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like collaboration comes up just in our meetings and doing something like this that's collaborative, because we're 5 people from diverse backgrounds. We come from different parts of the country, we're different ages, we have different racial backgrounds. So and we work together to make this happen.
As
A
a
community of people working together. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yay!